tribe will get really big, and we'll have like the inner and outer rings, and then when a bunch of people come, like it has to get cleaned up. So I thought it'd be interesting for you to see me like clean everyone's stuff. So there's like, so we're called like the enforcers. And if something happens, for example, there was this guy at Starbucks. Now when I go in, I just get my coffee, they hand it to me. There was this guy at Starbucks yesterday, and he's laying down on Starbucks floor. So I know he can't do that. So I was like, come on, let's go out here. What's up, superhero? I was like, let's go lay out here. So he lays on the patio, and then the safety team comes, and they're like, Daisy, like, could you get this guy out of here? I was like, no, I put him there so he could get empathy. I was like, I moved him out of the store, but he still needs empathy. I was like, I'll give him some empathy after you guys do. I've already been giving him empathy. And they looked at me like I was nuts. And they're like, we're not paid to give empathy. This is the safety team, and they're supposed to be the buffer from the police. And I was like, well, if you don't give him empathy, he's not going to move.
Living on the streets has got to be rough.
Mm-hmm. And I'll show you what empathy looks like. So, and this is on my TikTok. It's all on video. So for like 15 minutes, they're trying to get this guy to move. And the problem is they weren't giving him empathy. They were trying to get him to move. So finally they go inside and they're like, Daisy, could you please help? So I go out and I'm like, of course you feel how you feel. And no one is acknowledging your feelings right now, are they? You're simply too lovable for this. Come on, dear. I'm going to introduce you to the squad. You're going to have so many best friends, and you're going to get all of the empathy you need. And if you need any more when you're done here, come back and get it from me. And as I'm like walking him down the steps to here, I'm pointing at my friends, and I'm like, oh, don't even worry about carrying your stuff. I'm like, here, go get his stuff. And they're carrying his stuff for him. And everyone's mobilizing, and the city is just looking in shock. Because, like, all of these so-called misfits who don't listen to them, when you give them a little bit of empathy, all of a sudden they're ready to jump up and do everything that you say. Just a little bit of empathy.
These people that you're referring to, they're all homeless?
Okay, no. They're misfits. So I think in a different way. So you think in terms of homeless,
Yep.
So you're taking a universal need and putting a less at the end. I take the universal needs and I say they're indisputable, and that we're in a world that's kind of like this weird paradigm where you have the yuppies and they have a bank account with money, and then you have the misfits and they got a bank account with clout. And we literally...
Oh, look at the goddess.
He's one of my kings. Hi, baby.
Hey, babe. How you doing?
I'm doing an interview right now. I love you.
Man, I want to hear the good word.
You could sit next to me if you're quiet
Okay.
and massage me. Come on.
I gotta
He's
keep
6'10".
I'm rolling right now.
Here, baby.
Yeah,
Put your round booty on here.
okay, when I'm done rolling.
So,
I want to
Misfits got a bank account with clout. The clout means that we have trust in the universe and interdependence with the universe. So I'll give you an example. Like, if we need something, and TTJ knows what I'm saying. We just trust in the universe. We're like, we'll find it on the street. Like, oh, you need a $400 push cart? No worries. You need an Easy Up or a TV or a speaker? Like, it'll come to us. We have trust in the universe. We just know that our needs will get met. Another thing that we have is relationships. So when you have relationships, they're way more valuable than money, because you could get things like coffee no matter what. And out here, if everyone who drinks coffee gets together in the morning, and then the people who are able to get coffee that day share with the people who are not able to get coffee that day, then everyone always gets to drink coffee no matter what. So I started doing this coffee pool, and then we all laugh now, and we're like, just like when Jesus fed 1,000 people with one fish, we caffeinate 1,000 misfits with one coffee. And it's true. Like, we will raise $3.75, and then we'll get like a refill, and that's it. We'll buy one coffee. But then all of a sudden, this person's giving us the rest of their coffee, and this person's going to get their refill, or this person's buying coffee now. And somehow, just by raising a tiny bit, everyone drinks coffee. This is just one example of interdependence, relationship, trust in the universe. So that's what cloud is. And homeless means that you don't have a home. But all you need is a nook or cranny to crawl into. So you can see by my temple, I have a green one that goes underneath, so it's not see-through. But I'll literally like go in between these, and then I'll have like my stuff will kind of make like a couple feet here. So I'll just have like this much space, and this is enough space for me. That little bit.
To do what?
To have my nook or cranny to crawl into. So I call myself Playboy Jesus because God gave me good looks and I used to model for Playboy.
Jesus.
And God told me if I use my,
I like the jacket. That looks
and
amazing.
God told me, I told you have to be quiet. And you're so cute. And God told me if I use my good looks for the glory of us all, then He would make sure that I stay good looking. So that's what I've been doing, and it is true. They've done studies like if you're good looking, you are more influential, and they've also done studies that if you're loving, it's not to do with like luck, it's to do with love. So the reason that I'm so good looking and how I help other people be good looking is release oxytocin, and oxytocin comes from being loving. So when I take you up here, you're gonna hear me do a speech for the people in no man's land. And I'll yell like, when I say super, you say squad. And they'll be like, squad. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to mobilize. The yuppies try to separate us with their trinkets and their programs, but we come together, and instead of being boring, like Martin Luther King and Gandhi using nonviolence, we use love. Imagine if Martin Luther King and Gandhi were torturing and saying, look at how lovable you are, and giving gifts and resources to meet needs. Like, love is way more powerful than nonviolence, and it's come the time where our ancestors have literally pushed their problems to us to the point where now we must respond to the call of our times. So that's what Daisy the Venice Healer came here to do, to unite and awaken. So let's go. So last night I was worried sick. I want to help that kid. I want to be his mother. I'm like one of those zoo animals that had the kids taken away. I have a 14-year-old. I find myself thinking about like, did Billy floss today? Every day. So he needs someone to mother him. I need someone to be a child to me. So the authorities, the police, everyone knows about Billy and my situation. And they're telling me they're going to help, but I don't know if I could trust them. So I want to just show you, because we were scared. I spent all night looking for him last night, so I didn't set up my temple, and they come Monday night, and it's just, when you're homeless, you have to move all the time. So I moved my stuff to All Goods, and I'm looking for this kid. So by the time I found him, I set up a bed for him. I'm like, fuck it, we're just going to stay at my friend's place. And All Good was like, I can't be part of housing a kid, and then I go to jail. So it was so sad. Like, I'm going to show you, this kid's sleeping on the alley here. And this is the world that we live in, because this child would not have run away from this group home if it wasn't, like, remember when we talked about the world of yuppies, how they release relationship and trust in the universe? So you cannot put a child in a group home with people who are getting paid, because the fact that there's industry involved, you're replacing trust in the universe, relationship, true love, care. Because we don't pay for this stuff. You're not supposed to pay for love. So you guys want to see something hurt? Again, I have a little 14-year-old. Look at this little angel in that pile on the tarp on the floor. So he slept in between two of my friends, Loki and Yoshi, so he's been safe all night. Little angel, we just got some clean clothes on him. And he's had a bath, he has like a toothbrush.
Let him sleep. Let him sleep.
So, he's a good kid. And he needs love. We all need love. All Good's always stepping up. All Good's the place where if anyone who wants to help themselves goes to him. long as they don't bring any illegal activity, he will give them a shower. He will give them
Yeah. It's hard to do good things. Okay? You get lambasted and judged pretty much by everybody around you. And nothing is more clear than me just trying to help out like a 14-year-old kid. It's been absolutely amazing. Just being told to sit and wait, and then being scared whether or not the police are going to kick in my door just because I'm just helping out like a 14-year-old who is clearly
On the streets.
needs somebody, you know. But you know, it says very clearly in the Bible, open your home, open your heart, open it to people, and they will repay your loving kind. And I've never had a problem with anybody that I've ever like helped out. They've always been very, very courteous to me. It's actually the people around that judge me for doing those things, which I find absolutely incredible. Legal threats, physical threats. I've never had anything stolen. Never had any of these people aggress me, even though they come to me and tell me all the things that they've done to others. If you actually really come genuinely with an open heart, people do respond. And it's not just through a camera lens, right? People respond face to face with real interactions. That's why the work that you guys do is so important, because you guys put a face to it. That's how every single movement starts. That's how every single big public reaction comes around. Is you can have these concepts, you can have these theories, you can do all your reading, you can sit in a school, you can talk about it philosophically, but until it's right in front of your face, until you see how our culture values children and how not only values it, but how we're processing just simple needs into this massive political fiasco that only pays out the people on top, you don't really understand the problem. So I thank you for being willing to practice your First Amendment right and demonstrate stories from people who can't tell it themselves.
All Good and I started the 501c3 together, and it's been growing. And the way that we became close is he had a goddess sanctuary. So he was housing any woman and sometimes women with children in his home. And I think at one time he had four adult women and 2 kids.
And just so we're clear, I would either sleep on the floor or outside to make sure that they had their own space. And I make it very clear, I don't want anything. I don't want anything from you people. This is just a step in your process, and sometimes the most meaningful thing that you can do for somebody is just give them something with no strings attached, and just show them that somebody cares at least enough to treat you like a person, no matter what you've done.
So I'm the visionary leader, and I would go deeper and say trust, do that free fall, find your meaning and purpose, and step out of market economy. Try to find as many things as you could do outside of market economy, as many things that you think that you have to commodify. Try to make them all opposite and make it mostly relationship and just a few things you commodify, and then watch how many riches you have and watch how much free time we have. Because really, when we're working, if we're bored or stressed, then we're contributing to the violence on the planet. It takes 90% of our energy to be violent, only 10% of our energy to be loving, and it fills us and energizes us and makes us gorgeous. Why would we not be loving? So we're gonna go to no man's land, and you guys are gonna see me do a little speech and pep everyone up and do a super squad chant, and then you could talk to some of the homies who I've known out here for the whole 4 years I've been here.
Just one quick thing. Do a good deed. Be a role model. Treat people how you would like to be treated. Love one another.
That part. You're so wise.
And remember, you will be judged how you judge others. So be a little bit softer.
Yeah.
First squad chant. Do you want to just do it? That's just the two of us. Got it. Yeah. You guys, we're gonna do the super squad chant. Ready? When I say super, you say squad. Super! Super! Yeah! That's what's up. Yeah. Hey, I didn't hear you say squad. Super!
What, everyone?
I like your hair. It matches your dog.
I like your hair.
My hair likes you.
Hi, how are you?
I am amazing. I wish I was as high as I want to be.
Hey, goddess.
Who are you?
Hey. Sunny D. Rocky.
Hey, goddess. Welcome to Venice.
I love your tits.
My name's Daisy.
It's nice to meet you.
You could talk about my body, but I usually don't. I don't like when guys do, but that actually felt okay. Is it okay if I touch your back in a loving way? Welcome to
I'm
Venice.
a woman.
Hey,
It was
goddess, you
epic.
could be VIP. She's part of the squad too. She's VIP.
No. She already
Oh
knows
no.
me.
Okay.
It's
no,
okay.
yeah.
She already knows me. I
She's
haven't met
just
her
part-
yet.
She's just part of the squad.
It's okay. I promise. I met the other mother. She's gonna get me the soda I need. I'm 50 cents short for your other son.
Hey, you want to sell me a cigarette?
Hey, why don't you camp with us? We're over at the skate park
Yeah.
by the bathrooms.
Yeah, maybe I should do that, bro.
Okay. And then you can watch how I get people to clean up the encampment. Oh, I don't smoke, my queen. 6 years off smoking. 6 years, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. Only the Meriganja. Hey, squad. Hey, superhero. I know who you are in there. Hello. You're so lovable. Look at how sweet you are. You're so lovable. My queen. How are you? My queen.
Oh my god, I'm not now.
Look at you. Are you thinking about how lovable you are?
Okay.
Okay, I love you. Good.
Yeah, am I taking noise?
Welcome to Venice.
All right.
If you ever see people voice saying, I realize this one. If you ever say Apex and Zach Shitty, then I'm like, what's there? Okay, my headphones. Yeah.
I like your outfit. We got the same style, goddess.
Hell yeah.
That's
oh,
what's
your
up.
coffee.
Look, we got the same hair, same style. You're part of the squad.
I love it.
We'll have to do our makeup together.
Okay.
I'll do your hair.
Sounds great.
I'll put little buns in the
Those
side.
shorts are super cute.
What's your name?
Freaking burns. Yeah. Where's my coffee? You promised me coffee. I screamed.
But no one wanted to be part of the coffee pool, and everyone
was
scattered.
all
and
by myself over here.
Shorty was hiding under the blanket, and I had to tickle torture him. It was a lot.
Oh, that's a lot. But I just said, I heard you.
Here's
were
half.
listening and everything. I love that. A woman.
Cheers.
She says. That's so much.
Looking for me?
Can we pretend it's love juice?
Yeah, this one.
And every sip makes
We
us
don't
more
have to
lovable.
pretend.
You just got more lovable.
We don't have to pretend.
I know we don't. We're so amazing. Look at you.
I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
queen.
You're funny. You're pretty funny.
You have so many gifts and talents.
I like this.
What kind of superhero are you?
you?
I like to sing and dance, and I love to make people smile and think about how lovable they are.
I know that to be true about you.
And I'm really good at dealing with big emotions. Like if someone's angry.
Like, when you burn it all before we start tomorrow. She was definitely done. Probably guy. I love that. Everybody
Got
has
it.
to
Anyone get you, goddess. Don't you dare get my queen. Think about how everyone put your witnessing eyes on my queen. Look at you. Look at you. So, see, and just by me coming to the area, like now no one's gonna fight. I used to do this at the food line. There was a fight every weekend. I would just come in, like love everyone up, give everyone love, and then no one would fight. So you don't have to like wait till the problem happens. Just meet the needs, and then no one acts out. We're having a healthy reaction to domination systems, which is getting stressed out and acting out and extroverting, or getting depressed and acting inward and getting addicted. So it's not like a crime and people need to go to jail, or an addiction and people got to go to AA. We need to have need-based systems where people's needs get met. And the most important need, like every morning, the first thing that we need is to like look in each other's eyes and play and snuggle and smell each other and co-regulate our nervous systems and feel seen and known. We have so many needs that go unmet because we're in a rush or in a hurry. So if we look at our sympathetic nervous system, the 5 F's, then in some way or another, we're doing one of those 5 F's in a domination system: fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and then making love. And then, but it's the other one, it's not making love when you're in that system. But in our parasympathetic nervous system, it's just like a baby. What do you feel? What do you need? How do we make life wonderful so we can all start playing and being creative, which is why we're here. So the next place I want to take you is, since your car is safe, I think we go down the boardwalk and I'm going to point out all the enforcers and just give you all of the ins and outs, and you're going to see all the city workers' reaction when they see the Mother of Venice. And I might do a hair flip shoulder for you guys.
This is where we actually host the food drive, which is pretty cool. We've had a bunch of unhoused step up, donate their vans. I mean, these are vans that these people live out of, their time. And when you give a gift, it's proportional to what you can do, right? The man who gives a penny, the homeless man who gives a penny, gives more than the rich man who gives $1 million. So when you see the amount of charity that actually goes on within a community like this, you really see something beautiful. Because these people are giving, they've even given to me, when they have nothing. So if you actually look at proportionally what these people are willing to offer in order to help each other, it's something really beautiful. And I respect it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is the most lovable queen in the world here? Look at you, my
Hey,
I support your power and glory.
Thank you.
Excuse me, please take care of my queen. We have to go.
All right.
Support her power and glory so she can
will.
nurture and love the world.
We will.
When men worship women, they become feminine and soft.
Yup.
When you exploit us, demean us, and don't worship us, we become angry and masculine.
You guys
If you want us to be like little fairies,
yeah.
just fluttering and dancing,
Let
and
us be
flipping our
fairies.
hair and getting everything
If
done.
you want us to be
Worship
fairies, let us
us.
be fairies.
Okay.
Don't go
Worship
fairy
my
before
queen.
us.
Yeah,
Goddess, can I have a kiss?
That's a bad look right there. Well, becoming fairy before them. You can't do that. You can't follow suit.
What's your name? Is a friend of yours, Daisy?
I'm Daisy. He's new. Welcome to Venice. When did you get here? Yesterday? He just got here. Welcome to the squad. If you stick around, you'll make some friends. What are your gifts and talents? What's your hustle?
Let's let him have his morning.
We all got a picture on our tummy, like a Care Bear. Mine's a heart and an infinity symbol. I'm gonna come back and ask you what picture's on your tummy. Super squad. He'll be a lot more bright and bubbly next time you see him. Venice is a really amazing place, and you can't be here that long without making friends.
So part of there's very interesting when you start looking at the problem and how you categorize it, right? So on one side, the government wants to push these people into a specific spot. We used to call them ghettos, right? Push them into an area where we don't have to see them, where we don't have to look at them. But they can't quite get everybody in there, and it's also an awful place to be in these various projects and homes and areas designated for people without housing. So they're nomadic by nature, which poses an issue, right? We're categorizing them as somebody that needs to be put in a home. We're putting them in a situation where they have to be nomadic. So really, where do we draw the solution? And it kind of comes from how you categorize. If we just accept the fact that they're nomadic, maybe the best thing that we can do for them is build solutions around the movement of them. So having community, like different stations that they can go to, having carts, tents, making sure that they can actually exist out in the world that we're pushing them into. Because these projects that California has been funding are clearly not working, even though they have more money at their disposal than countries to solve this problem. And when you look at the cost effectiveness of what Daisy and I are doing, as well as like what influences we're pushing out, what kind of message we're giving, if you make it about a community, locally based, where you're opening your homes and not pushing them into some other section, if you open your hearts, that makes a bigger difference than free needles or, you know, some sort of government housing project that only like 3 people can get into out of 1,000. That's my challenge to you guys. Think critically, because clearly our solutions have not yielded very tangible results. Be creative. Intent matters. A gift that you've given, where you put your time and your effort in, a lot of these people haven't had that. It's been a transactional basis when you give charity. It's you give money to a charity, you never see who it helps. You give taxes to the government, you don't see where the programs go. If you're one-on-one with somebody, you can make a world of a difference.
So the way that they respond is force and control. Anything that you control, you slowly kill. And what that means is adrenaline and cortisol are toxic to the body. And if we're forcing or controlling or using any type of non-relational approach, then we're slowly killing that being. And this is an example right here, this fence. This is an example of how the city deals with things. So if they notice that there's an area where there is an encampment that will not move, and no matter what, these people will not take housing, they will not take resources, they will not take anything, they will just only stay, then the city will literally put a fence. And this is their solution.
No one can use it now.
Using more force and more control. So now all over the city we have these fences. But what's so depressing, and I don't mean like sad depressing, but depressing in the way that people's needs are being suppressed. And then people become depressed. So we're like pushing people away from the space that's familiar. Now the community, the interdependence, the trust, the belonging, the empathy, the co-regulation of nervous systems, the group conscious mind collaborating to meet needs. There's a lot of invisible things that happen.
Yeah.
Now they're gone.
And then they just get smashed.
And we need to like bring people together. So that's literally why I came out here. Like I was telling you, like I was thinking kind of like Donald Trump was like, ooh, those Republicans will be easy to trick and win over. I wasn't thinking like trick, but like the unhoused are done. Like the vulnerable population, like this world isn't for them. Like they are over it. And I felt the same way after being ridden hard, not being allowed to see my kids. I feel like I have nothing to lose. You know, I appealed it, filed a 380. They're telling me there's nothing I can do. Well, I could have started global liberation in Venice and awaken the planet and get my kids back that way. So that's the route I'm taking. And it's a different mind. So like Allgood was saying, these systems don't work. What does work? So Alcoholics Anonymous started in 1934. Or 32. The LA River was cemented in 1934. Alcoholics Anonymous started in 1932. And there's never been any rules or laws or governors or fees or dues. You can never get kicked out. You could never do anything that's not lovable. In fact, that's like the 4th and 5th step. It's a rule that you're lovable no matter what and can never get kicked out. And they tell you keep coming back. So there's never been scandal or controversy. So if we take fellowship systems that are based off of building willingness and capacity. So in AA, it's like, hey, we have a need. We need people to volunteer to pick up the drunks when they need us to go and pour out their alcohol or to drive the drunks to court. Those are people who are looking for sponsees. And then you see everyone's hand go up. And if there's not that many hands as the need arises, then people's preferences and willingness change. It grows. And those are the intrinsic motivations that are meant to arise and elicit natural giving. Coercive giving feels terrible. We don't like it. Even if you're rewarding someone or giving them money, that's coercive giving. They're not giving naturally. So if we have these types of fellowship need-based systems that are based off not building funds and raising votes, but building willingness and capacity, because it meets people's needs. Like how many children and old people do you think we would have helping out? Because they are bored and want to learn. Schools would be superfluous. Elder homes would be superfluous because everyone would be coming together, because in the gardening will be all the little babies and toddlers and all the old people. And then all the grown-ups like me and all good, like all we want to do is shred and skateboard. They've done studies where indigenous populations, the biological parents spend like 40% or less of the time with them, and they're with the other caregivers because the whole tribe raises them. So there's an abundance of resources and choices to meet their needs instead of the artificial scarcity that's created through domination systems and nuclear families, which have completely replaced tribe. And the idea of tribe and oneness and interconnectedness and a love for all of life, a love for all species is our way. The old way of thinking, where we want to like poison and kill bugs, and that there's such a thing as rodents that we hate and need to be exterminated, like that's the old way of thinking. Now we know that, yeah, if you shit and piss and dump it out your window and live in filth, you're gonna get like plagues and sick, and stop living filthy. And we're now at a level where our technology and information has gotten to the point where everyone can live on lavish abundance, no matter what species you are, bug, microorganism, or the superorganism Earth we live on. And Earth's organs are sacred, and our organs are sacred, and there's no separation. And when I speak this way, and I speak about like bulldozing and having like this radical truth and radical love and acceptance of all and non-ownership but belonging to, the unhoused understand this world. The yuppies and the people doing the programs and the government workers, they don't understand the world I'm talking about. But when I talk about, like, if I go to a homeless encampment and I say, what are you supposed to do? They know. I had one lady say, I'm supposed to take care of all the sharp-clawed and sharp-toothed animals, bears and tigers. We wouldn't have to worry about predators in this new world, because there's so many of us, humans will be integrating with all species and all of life, because now we're attuning to nervous systems and identifying universal needs, non-controversial elements we all share, and then putting our energies and attention to meet needs based off of willingness and capacity. Who wants to do it? That's the new world.
Tag me in.
All right, I think that's enough for us to process this time.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we'll do this again. We'll make this a regular thing.
Okay, and then when you come, I think you should come on a Friday morning and watch me actually move all the encampments. One of the things I'll do is, instead of the cops waking people up and threatening them with violence and being mean, I will go very sweetly and gently and literally move their stuff for them if they're too sleepy and don't want to do it.
All right, I'll be back for that.
Okay, good
All right,
to
you guys.
see you.
Yeah, one more. It's time for one more statement.
Make it quick.
Yes, sir. So yeah, Daisy touched on a lot of really good points. One of them I just want to reiterate is, yeah, our technology has reached a point where you guys can see what's going on. You can see up close and personal, and there's not really an excuse, now is it? Because we have information and knowledge. And with knowledge comes critical thinking and power. So what are you guys going to do about this? The situation is a little bit closer to home than you guys might think. It's your First Amendment right to congregate in a public spot, people. These people's, homeless people's very definition is a public congregation. These people are on public lands congregating their political situation, which is homelessness. It's a First Amendment freedom, and we can't let that die. Thank you.
Till next time.
Two very different views, but